Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a little gem. From Christopher Ward, this is the Belcanto Viola Purple. The Belcanto, part of a series that won the GPHG 2023 Petit Aiguille Prize. That is a prize for a price point watch that exceeds expectations. And the timepiece in my hand is exactly that, an hour striker, a fairly exotic complication delivered at an accessible price. All of the action is on the dial side, and Christopher Ward is delightfully open about the partners that worked with the company to bring this to market. So the Belcanto is 41 millimeters in diameter in grade 5 titanium, primarily used for its sonic qualities, although it does have the happy coincidence of being very light, hypoallergenic, and hard to scratch. You can see 41 in diameter. It's 48.1 from lug to lug, 13.3 millimeters thick. It's got broad, modern 22 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Throwing it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. I have to say, it fits really nicely, but the strap is wonderful. It has the quality of a Grand Seiko factory strap in that even brand new, it is as soft as butter. It's like dough skin. It doesn't need any breaking in. It's not stiff. It's not constraining my wrist. It looks and feels great. Now the watch is thin enough, especially with a sloped bezel, to fit underneath most tight sleeves and cuffs. From over the top, which exaggerates the width of the watch, you can see it's still inboard of the edges of my wrist. Remember, my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. Down the barrel, you can see I've got a bit of clearance, so let's say this could work on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. Whatever the Italians are doing with vintage oak and leather, keep all of those things working, my men. This is a wonderful feeling strap. Purple on the top with a sort of conventional grain. You can see it's suede on the bottom with the Chris Ward logo. And then it's got pull tab spring bars, so you can pop it off the case without tools. We have a simple Chris Ward branded titanium pin buckle. Surprisingly shapely case. The lugs are gracefully tapered. You can see we've got a bevel that runs end to end and tapers at the end of the lugs. A lot of satin finish, well applied. You can see the bezel's more complex than it might seem at first glance. It's got a bit of an undertuck, then a vertical lip, then a conical profile, then a polished flange where it abuts a slightly cambered and boxed sapphire. I appreciate the beveling and differential finish, polish and satin, on a trigger that activates and deactivates the striker, which, by the way, is striking the note D. You can see that it can be activated and deactivated, and the mechanism is indexed by what amounts to a column wheel. We also have the ability to set it conventionally. Underneath, it's a Sellita SW200, but up top is where all the magic exists. It's really well indexed, too. It chimes when it's supposed to chime. And unlike a lot of finicky mechanisms that involve some sort of chiming, at no point do I feel like I'm about to spend $100,000 on a catastrophic repair for doing something wrong. With a sonnery, a minute repeater, you can definitely wind up in that kind of endless hole trying to dig yourself out of a mistake your own making or that of a friend, whereas here, simply indexing the system to activate the striker poses no particular risk to the watch. 30 meters water resistant, which is kind of impressive for a striking watch of any kind. You can see it has this sort of sound wave representation on the back with a combination of polished satin, and then the center is all media blast, so there's nice nuance there. I particularly like the use of these outboard screws to fix the case back. It's attractive, and I'm sure it has some sort of practical advantage, probably in part to help clear the rotor. So taking a quick look at the dial, it does have a practical amount of luminescence. You can quite easily read the time on the tiny sub-dial. Taking a look at the rest, a few things happened up here. This is technically called the FS01 movement. So what's on the underside is a Sellita SW200, which is basically Sellita's version of an ETA 2824. Bidirectional automatic winding, 4 Hz beat rate. It's got a 38-hour power reserve. Presumably it has some sort of hacking function because that is kind of endemic to the basic architecture, but we don't really know because there's no visible seconds hand on the dial, though it's probably there underneath. The striking system is where all the innovation went, and a man named Frank Stelzer is primarily responsible for quarterbacking this project, though others were involved. A company called Viquadeco out of the, I believe, Swiss Jura Mountains handled some of the wheels, which are a surprisingly specialized kind of component. Also, Arm & Strom was available to help out with the dial base, so we have a functional element right there that's also aesthetic, and then Chronode helped with some of the dial side hardware. So again, like MB&F, being very transparent about bringing in the best kind of help when necessary, and not like so many pretending that they did it all themselves. It has a wonderful three-dimensional quality to it. You can see, rather than going with a cathedral gong type setup, they decided to double up the gong. So it's free-floating and freestanding all the way across the dial, and it's beautifully polished. The decoration of these parts is, I'm going to be honest, about as attractive as anything you'll see on a visible component of an Autumn RPA movement. AP has gone more and more in the direction of machine finishing, and with watches like this, Chris Ward has gone more and more in the direction of adding a little bit of artisanal flair to the pieces. And there's a sort of convergence happening that's all to the advantage of Chris Ward in that comparison, and not necessarily the advantage of AP. We have this little index right here that indicates whether the striker is on or off, and you'll probably want that if it's going to be on your bedside at night. Taking a look at the parts, everything's very credibly decorated. I don't feel like any corners were cut. This is a movement that actually stands up to scrutiny, and even if you bring in optics to magnify, you're going to be very satisfied with what you find here. It's one of the coolest watches of the last decade, and I think the large number of variations means you're almost guaranteed to find one that suits your particular taste. Purple is a powerful color, and it is a tool for good or evil in the world of watch style, and I feel like this one is a virtuous use of that enigmatic color. You can also see the kaleidoscope of undertones created by this unique dial as you move it through the light. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.